Hey guys, it's Kevin from Online Freedom Web. Today I wanted to talk about something that a lot of people don't think about. You often hear me talking about living the internet lifestyle. Obviously, you hear me talking about online freedom. Um, but I get a lot of questions as to what that means. And I'm sort of taken aback when when I get that question because it's very personal. For me, the internet lifestyle meant a few things, and for me it was never about being rich. I'm not concerned with being rich. If that happens, great. Now I did get into it because I wanted to be comfortable. And for me, what that means is obviously having all of the things that I need, all the necessities. Um, I want my kids to have what they want, what they need. But it's also nice to be able to give them things that they want. It's nice to be able to give my wife things that she wants. It's nice to be able to walk into a store and you're not reaching for the price tag and looking at the price tag sweating. Those things are kind of nice. But for me, while those things are nice, it was more about the ability to work whenever I wanted to work. I never thought I'd say this, but I'm an early riser. I used to be quite a night owl, so it surprises me when I hear myself say out loud that I'm an early riser. When I say early, I find myself I have the alarm set for 4:30, and I'm usually sitting there awake before it goes off. So I'm normally up about 4 o'clock in the morning. And there are not many jobs I could take where I make a decent income where I could clock in at 4:35 in the morning. So I like the fact that I can get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and I can start my workday. Um, so I can work whatever hours I want. Hey, maybe you want to get up at noon and start working at noon. Maybe you want to lazy around all day and not start working until 9, 10, midnight, 2 in the morning. Maybe you like to keep strange hours. Maybe you've got a job and you want to do this as sort of a second job. Maybe you want to start off just doing this a couple hours a day. There are some days I wake up and, I make it a point to do something to better my business every day. Um, but there are days I wake up and I do a quick video, I send a couple emails, I'm done. Hour, 2 hours. There are other days I may work 10 hours, 12 hours. There have been days where even though I got into this thinking, hey, I only work a couple hours a day. I actually enjoy what I do. So there are days when literally I put my head down, I'm pounding out autoresponders or I'm taking canned autoresponders and personalizing them. Again, I'm making videos, I'm setting up solo ads. And I may have my head down pounding out stuff and I look up and it's been 10, 12, 14 hours sometimes. Um, but that's not every day. There are days when I sit down and I don't have any ideas in my head. I can't so I can't do autoresponders. I'm having a hard time doing videos, so I'll just order a solo ad run, or I'll do a quick post on Facebook, and again, an hour or two, and I'm done for the day. The ideas just aren't flowing, so there's no point in me banging my head against the wall. I stop. Um, I like to travel, so it's nice to be able to go anywhere, and as long as I have a laptop and internet connection, I can get the job done. Now, I couldn't travel all the time. I mean, at some point you need to be stationary long enough. You need to be able to access things. So, you hear people saying, they travel every single day of the year and they're in exotic locations. Either they've got something I just flat out don't have, or they're lying to you. But you have the time where you don't have to beg for time off from your boss. You have the money to be able to afford to travel. So, those are things that go into the internet lifestyle, or online freedom, as I like to call it. You don't have to worry about sitting in bumper to bumper traffic every day. By the time you get to work, you're so upset, you're ready to bite people's heads off. And you don't have to worry about it. And I'm in the DC area, so anybody who lives in or is familiar with the DC area, you know what the traffic is like around here. I used to travel 45 minutes to work, where if I made that same trip at, say, 2, 3 in the morning when there's no traffic, it would take me 15 minutes, if that. So, there were days that 45-minute trip would turn into an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, and it would just drive you crazy, and you're literally in the worst mood first thing in the morning, and you've got 8 hours to do after that. And I didn't want to do that anymore. Another thing is I can pick and choose the offers that I want to promote. At work, I did sales for a lot of years, and I sold what they told me to sell, and I didn't really have a lot of say in the matter. Whereas with this, if it's not something that I believe in, if it's not something that aligns with me morally for some reason, I won't do it. So I literally get to choose the things that I believe in. And for me right now, the number one thing is helping other people experience the internet lifestyle, experience online freedom, and not have to deal with these stressors that a lot of people do. You really want to, jump off that hamster wheel. I enjoy being able to dig into my pocket and donate to various charities. I like the fact that my kids, they're older now, but I like the fact that my kids can look at me and they see me, putting my all into something that I really believe in. I want my kids to understand that there's another way. That you don't necessarily have to trade your time for money, which if you're going to a job every day and you're clocking in, that's basically what you're doing. You're saying, hey, I'll give you these 8 hours of my life every day in exchange for however much you decide to pay me. And I wanted to show them that there's another way. Now I wake up in the morning and I may have sales sitting in my inbox. Very few days go by that I don't have any. There's some days when I wake up and I have a tremendous number of sales in my inbox. And, I realize the first time I got a sale in my inbox that, this is what I want to do. And I'm able to do what I enjoy. Say you're into fitness, you could promote a fitness product or system. Say you have a family member who's diabetic and you want to promote cures for diabetes. Say heck, it could be anything. My wife loves coffee, so that's one of the things that I'm looking at setting her up with, is a way to promote coffee. So that you really can do whatever you want to do, and it's one of the things I want my kids to see. And again, they're older; they're not little kids anymore. But I want them to see that there's nothing wrong with exchanging time for money. But if you don't want to do that, I don't want them to think that that's the only way. I mean, it used to be you graduated high school and you got a job, or you graduated high school, you went on to college, then you got a job, and that's where you stayed. But there is another way. So if you're seeking another avenue, I want you to understand and to know that there is another way. This internet lifestyle dream can become a reality, and it's not necessarily 100% tied to income. Sure, that's one component of it, but just having the freedom, if you sit down at your computer one day and you just don't have it that day, you don't have to explain it to anyone. You don't have to, beg for that day off. If you don't have it that day, maybe you just complete a couple tasks and you're done. Just make it a point to do a little something every day, and you'll find. Let me back up. Quick story. When I was in better shape than this, I told myself every day I would do one push-up, And 9 times out of 10, probably 9.5 times out of 10, after I did the one push-up, I went up doing a whole routine. But it all started with one push-up. And sure, there were days when I would get down there and I would do literally one push-up. But back then I was in the best shape of my life, and it wasn't a chore, because I told myself that if I didn't have it that day, I just wasn't going to do it. Although most days I didn't think I had it, but after that one push-up, I'd complete the whole routine. Same thing here. I tell myself I'm going to do one thing every day to make this business better. And 9.5 times out of 10, once I get that one thing completed, I'm off doing other things as well. And before I know it, I've put in at least a few hours. And I either can be done at that point, or I can continue to work. But anyway, that's what the internet lifestyle or online freedom means for me. You will have your own idea of what that means, and that's another component of it. That's what it's all about. It's personal. It's what's important to you. Maybe you don't have kids. Maybe you just want to travel all the time, and this is a business that would allow you to do that. There'd be some challenges, but you would be able to do that. So, hey, maybe tell you what, maybe comment below and tell me what your idea of the internet lifestyle, what your idea of online freedom is. How about that? And also, obviously, if you like the video, subscribe. If you want to know the exact systems that I'm using to generate income, I'll put that information in the description of the video. What else? If you want to contact me, I will have that contact information show on the video. I'll set that up before I actually post it. But if you have any questions, if you want to reach out, you'll have that information. And as always, until the next video, I hope you find some use here. But until next time, here's to living the internet lifestyle, or as I like to call it, having online freedom.